destroyer of the Romans, conqueror of Persia, and perhaps even the greatest general of all time, Khalid Ibn Al-Walid. Undefeated in over 100 battles, Khalid was a force to be reckoned with. However, he was not just a military genius, but also a mighty warrior, who once fought with such ferocity that in a single battle he broke 10 blades against his enemies. Although initially a staunch opponent to the Muslims and instrumental in inflicting them their first defeat in the Battle of Uhud in 625, he would soon become one of their mightiest and most successful commanders. At the time, the Roman and Persian Empires stood proudly above their contemporaries as the most powerful nations in the world. In fact, they had enjoyed centuries of dominance, and it seemed there was little sign of that changing. That was, until the rise of the Rashidun Caliphate, aided in no small part by the military prowess of Khalid Ibn Al-Walid. Before battle commenced, the custom at the time was for the Arabs to recite poetry. This was to motivate and inspire their forces while simultaneously demoralizing and insulting their enemies. The only real issue with this was, when they fought the armies of Persia, it had no real effect, as their enemies didn't understand Arabic. However, the Persians had a custom where they would send their army's champion to face their opponent's champion in single combat for all to see. So, when Khalid faced the Persians in battle, they would send out the challenge for the Arab army to send forth a champion to fight. Khalid had a different idea. He would step forward and accept the challenge himself, and would then challenge the Persian general to fight. His enemy would have no choice but to accept, and Khalid would swiftly kill his opponent, causing shock and fear to spread through the Persian ranks. This would then be followed by him leading his men to victory after victory against leaderless Persian armies. One story tells of a Persian general who noticed the pattern of Khalid dispatching all these generals, and so he came up with a cunning trap. He instructed a dozen of his men to hide in the sand where he expected a duel to take place in order to ambush Khalid. The day of the battle arrived, and Khalid once again challenged his opposing general to fight. As he approached the general ready to duel, a signal was given, and suddenly the hidden soldiers leapt out of the sand and ambushed Khalid. Surrounded and completely outnumbered, Khalid fought valiantly as he clashed with the cunning enemy. One of Khalid's men on the front lines rushed in to fight alongside him, and together they slaughtered all 13 of their enemy. Khalid's greatest victory was in the Battle of Yarmouk in 636. He led the Muslim army against the Romans in Syria. With the genius use of his elite cavalry divisions, Khalid was able to decisively destroy the Romans in battle. His force of around 20,000 men beat a Roman force of over 100,000, ending over 7 centuries of Roman rule in the region. An interesting incident that is said to have occurred before the battle commenced is Khalid's interaction with a Roman commander by the name of Georgios. The Roman commander approached Khalid and asked him about Islam and his nickname the Sword of Allah. There was a rumour that he had been bestowed this nickname due to God having sent him a sword from heaven that made him invincible. Khalid explained it was simply a name given to him by the Prophet. After further discussion, the Roman commander not only accepted Islam, but also fought by Khalid's side against his former men. Later in his life, Khalid was relieved of command, but he continued to aid behind the scenes where he could. It is said as he lay on his deathbed, he lamented the fact that he had not died in battle and received a martyr's death. However, his wife then said to him, "You were given the title Sayfullah, meaning the sword of Allah, and the sword of Allah is not meant to be broken, and hence it is not your destiny to be a martyr, but to die like a conqueror." Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe.